Well, there's a lot on our plate right now, so I tried to address the main thing that I was planning to talk about here, which was the Arab Spring and the latest developments in it. But at the same time, we also have a roiling domestic political situation, and Obamacare and the debate around it is really, I think, riveted people's attention. So I thought it was important to say a few things about that as well. Well, I think that what we really need to do is take a hard look at Egypt and understand what went wrong from the time that Mubarak was toppled until Morsi was ousted, and why, even though what happened with Morsi and the ouster and the seeming or ostensible departure from the democratic path that they imagine themselves on, while that obviously has people concerned, they're now on a course which at least has a possibility of having some real democratic transformation. It's not by any means certain that it will happen, but if it has any chance to happen, something like what went on has to happen. Meaning, when you're trying to democratize a culture that is not essentially democratic, you require some time for the forces of democracy to build up institutions and to be able to compete with the Islamic supremacist forces, which are much more ingrained in that culture. The only way I think that can really happen is if you have a kind of a benevolent dictatorship, for want of a better word, by an institution that's widely respected in the society, like the military, which will allow, if it's possible for it to happen, those institutions to grow. I'm a skeptic about whether it's possible, but I do think that this is the only way that it has a chance. I think Gatestone is one of the most important institutes of opinion that we have in our discourse today, particularly in the areas of national security, developments in the Middle East, and on the domestic side, standing up for individual liberty, which is a kind of a related mission, because we're dealing with not only Sharia supremacism as the dynamic force that we have to deal with in the Middle East, where America has a lot of important interests, but we're also dealing with a sort of an incursion of Sharia standards and Sharia values here. And that in particular includes suppression of speech, which is a big concern.